they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
They'll put it in play from the 41 on first down. Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the tight end. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Look, you can't take away everything, right? So you give them that and rally and make a solid tackle.
Yeah, and a lot of times in zone coverage, I like when I can get all the eyes on the quarterback. I like when I can see the routes and see them develop in the middle. And you could tell they had keys on the tight end. He wasn't going anywhere after he caught that football.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. Using his legs, it's Whittington. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Guys, LSU has the lead here. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. This is an opportunity to show your offense you believe in them. Their opening drive of the game, still in their own territory, going for it. Makes a grab past the marker. Well, they just drained all the suspense out of the fourth down conversion, moving the chains easily. Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time, and he finds his man for the first down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
He might want another play. Moore will throw. Here's the pressure. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes a catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. Use the play fake, now to throw. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And that is the play this defense had to have. Did you look in the secondary right there? I mean, he was open, guys. Like, that would have been a touchdown, and this defense got to the quarterback, hit him as he's throwing the football, forced the errant pass, and dodged a bullet.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Back to pass. Here he goes breaking the pocket. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
And the extra point makes it 7-3. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Back to pass, it's Nussmeier. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Snagged in the middle, it's Green. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Man, those are frustrating because you know you're supposed to catch that, you're supposed to secure it. It's going to happen, but it's just frustrating for those receivers. Just tap the chest. My bad, dog.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
LSU will bring the punt team on the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Might be calling a hot route. Moore to the air. With the catch, it's Whittington. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. The Ducks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. On the run, it's Whittington. Breaks into the open. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
To the ground with the back. All down, and they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
And the Ducks will line it up on 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The Ducks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Give to the back. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
And this is what's going to drive coaches crazy. It's mental errors, right? It doesn't take any talent or lack of talent to have that penalty. You just got to watch the ball, and when it's snapped, get after the quarterback.
From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Quarterback making adjustments. Moore will throw. Quickly complete. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
You get the completion, and now you set up a manageable third down situation in the red zone. This is a huge down in distance in this game.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on first and goal. On third and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. Touchdown, Ducks! The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And, David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Hit as he throws. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again.
There he goes. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Nussmeier. Throws toward the end zone. He got it, and he will score! Touchdown, LSU!
That's exactly what this offense needed to do. You talk about answering at the right time, right before the half, close this gap, create some momentum, go into the half, put together, try to come out with your hair on fire and win this second half.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied and the timeout is gone. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they cover the final 29 yards with that touchdown pass. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Going right to work up top. Under fire. Takes a shot as he lets it go. He dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, the quarterback was in a world of trouble there. He was under pressure. He knew he was going to get hit, so he's just trying to get rid of it, but he forced it into double coverage. He's lucky that was only an incompletion.
Here's a heat. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. That's caught. It's Stewart. He cannot get there. It'll be 4th down. The Tigers will kick it away first and will start the second half. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
But how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
Making side adjustments here. Moore to the air. The sweet feet buy a little time. Fires to the wideout. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affected the football game.
They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. He wants to throw it again. Misses again. It's incomplete, and that's 3 in a row.
That is the exact energy they talked about at halftime. Like coming out with right now for this defense. You're trailing, but it's a close game. It's a one-possession game. Come out and set the tone. That's exactly what they did, forcing the punt on the first drive.
On fourth down, going to the air. Throws to the wideout. And it's incomplete. The long pass on fourth down is to no avail.
I know the analytics tell me to be aggressive and go for it, but in the second half, in these ball games, the analytics don't work for every single situation. And right now, you set them up. I just hope this one doesn't come back to bite you right in the eye.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
From the shotgun, the inside give.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9. LSU moving the ball quickly down the field. Gets it out fast. Touchdown, Tiger! And that one will put him up here in the second half. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target and make the big play, get the touchdown.
They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Fourth down in their own end. Last time, David sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a first down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down. The Ducks in the hurry up. Might be changing the route. Moore will throw. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Wants to go up top. This time it's complete. Brought down at the 26-yard line after a pickup of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a first down. The give to the back. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. And the Ducks can really attack on this second and short. It's complete on the right side. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Looking to throw for it. Fires to the tight end. He gets it all the way down inside the 10. It'll be first and goal from the 8. The Ducks didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on second and goal. Looking to fire. He wants it all. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch, except ticket holders.
I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
On third and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. Moore to the air. Dances away to buy time. Picked off to stop the threat. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
When you get that quarterback and he starts to leak outside the pocket like that and roll, you roll with him. Those linebackers are supposed to move and shift with them, start to take away the field towards the sideline, because think about it, he's not going to throw it back across his body. The defense read it well, moved with the rollout, made the big play.
The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Looking for a gap. It's Durham. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. No question they wanted to get the ball to their playmakers, and both receivers have come up big through 3. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock.
And this is a pressing time for this defense. They've got to understand they're backed up a little bit. They're going to run the football. They don't want to make a mistake. So I think this is the time I'm a little bit more aggressive. I got to get this football back to my offense because I'm trailing. So I look for this defense to get a little bit aggressive.
Second down, he'll throw it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Green. He's loose. At the 20. You want to talk about shifting the field in an instant. He's got it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
And this offense showing off the explosiveness, the big play down the field. This is so big because what it makes defenses do to react now. Now you scare them. Now you make them drop back a little bit. So that big passing play opens up this whole offense.
Well, 2 things you're thinking about here offensively is, 1, you want to take as much time off the clock. But two, you really want to score another touchdown to make this a two-possession game. You could almost ice it if you can find a way to get in the end zone here. Just take your time. Don't snap it too quickly.
And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Looking to buy time.
I like the aggressive play calling by the offensive coordinator on that drive as well. There are a lot of coaches that would have played it very conservative, very close to the vest, run the ball, and punt it away, count on your defense, not this guy. He was going to take some shots, count on his own guys to get it done, and now with that touchdown late, they've got a two-possession lead.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
The offense changing the play. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Moore will throw. He wants a big play here late. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down.
I'll tell you, this offense just can't afford too many more incompletions because time's running out in the game. They need big plays in the passing attack, vertically down the field, and they've got to score some touchdowns.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. Grabs it at the 25-inch stride. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a one-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stopped? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
And the extra point pulls them to within 3, 24-21. They got the touchdown they needed. Now trailing by a field goal, they'll line up for the onside kick. That's why they call them the Hams team. They're able to secure the onside kick. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. All right, this game just got tighter, and you just don't want to make a mistake here, David.
Especially in the 4th quarter. Remember, you're still leading this ball game.
Turning it on! He's at the touchdown, Tiger! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. They couldn't draw up a drive better than that one. Just gashed them for the big play in the running game. One snap, one touchdown. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Moore to the air. Oh, they're after him. And the Heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for second down. Back to pass. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Oh, it's picked off. What a bad time for a mistake like that.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long. And here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT. Finally, the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. The quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
And the Tigers come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. To the ground to try to pick up the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, when you've had the day that this guy's had so far, why not hand it off to him on 3rd down, right? At this point, you're almost basically expecting him to find a way to pick it up, and he does exactly that. This guy has been a monster all game.
It's really the most common